doggo, and I sneeze, sneeze, sneeze.
Wow. Hello? Dude, there's a new Game Chops Zelda album as of a day. Can you believe it? Adding that immediately to my favorites. Dude, I love Game Chops. It's a Hyrule Cafe. Sorry, hey there. How's it going? Who hearted bet Yao chat? I've had a haircut. Can you hear it? I thought we'd work on some WouHou today. I don't really remember what we were doing last time. Just that it was like system reworks, right? Just like some random crap. We worked on this. This is sick. So you can like arbitrarily add stuff. Hey, Puff. I'm just having a look to see where the game's at right now. Okay. What do you lot want to see? I reckon if I get my big book of notes out, we have quite a few things we could work on. As always, we could work on more like systems overhaul. You totally promised you do a release build. Alright, look. Maybe it's quick today. Let's just let it build for a minute and see how it goes. Alright? Let's let it sit for a minute while we discuss what to do today. Just for you, Donut. Okay, so there's like a million things we need to do, a million things we need to test, including like actual game design. I recorded an hour-long Minecraft video earlier today. I hope you're excited. I couldn't be asked to like trim it, download like an editor on my Mac, trim it, and then upload it, so I've just uploaded it to YouTube. And I'm using the inbuilt trimmer. But that means there's not going to be like a fade in and out. We'll see. Look at this, 2% after a minute, blazing fast. You thought I was joking. Is the configure fail true? I don't know. Sometimes it is. Anyway, in it I actually mentioned some of the stuff I was planning on doing for this. And there's a couple systems we need to implement at some point. And we need to make them generic, because the designs will be changing, I reckon. One system I remember we had in WouHou 1 was a visual novel system, where you could have like a chat box, a sprite, and like it would go through some chats and then whatever. That sounds pretty rudimentary, and it sounds like it could be a useful thing to put together. What do you lot think? On top of that, I had ideas for other characters that would have, they would do things other than like focus. You know, they would have like, one of them has like a dodge roll, one of them would have like a shield or whatever. So we could look into implementing that. The game doesn't currently have grazing, so we could look into that. If that even matters. That feels like more of a last minute addition, I'll be honest. Just seems like we're doubling our collision checks, I'll be perfectly honest. That's probably how I'll implement it, let's be real. You look like I'm doing the paper next to the mic because I thought this sounds nice. I thought you'd appreciate it. There's that. I had more ideas for controls as well, like twin stick shooter style. You know, maybe you actually aim a reticle rather than just shoot up. We could look into how we might want to implement like spell cards or the equivalent of. I mean, that's quite a big system. Collision checks is something we could look at. Collision check is kind of a black box system though. Like, as far as I'm concerned, we can change that at any time and it shouldn't affect the game, right? So if we end up coming up with a nice optimization later, we can get to it. But right now it works fine enough, and I'm not really feeling it. I'd want to like read up on it, you know. I don't want to like just shit it out. Alright, this was faster than expected. I guess it really sped up in the last bit. There you go, that's only a 3-minute compile. That's not so bad. Alright, this is release build. Get ready, this is all you're going to see for a long time. You bet your ass I'm not doing this again for a while. Alright, this is unlimited FPS on the main menu. Not so hot. Not even the 1000 mark. What if I go to like a different screen? This text seems so inefficient, holy shit. It's like halving the frame rate. Why is this so inefficient? It's probably calculating what the keyboard looks like every frame, right? It does seem to pick up after a second. Hi, Bonfire. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, wait, your name is Bonfire. I thought you changed it again. My bad. Yeah, it seems slow at load, and then it picks up. I don't know why that is. It, like, drops frames, and then it picks up. Anyway, in-game... Oh, in-game is so much faster than the menus. So yeah, I guess font text, like, typeface rendering is slow. Yeah, this is a new album that just came out, like, a day ago from Game Chops. This is with the debug overlay, mind you. Like, with all the extra draw calls. This seems pretty good. The text is getting allocated and copied every frame. I think you're right. Because I remember that was actually an optimization we did in WouHou 1. It was to do with the outlining in particular, but we ended up making it so the text was defined, like, once when the menu's loaded, and then just drawn from that over and over again, and we got like 5,000 FPS. So that could be something we do. For now, FPS isn't a concern, so if we want to do what makes me happy, this isn't it. I also think we should have like a reticle there to show which letter you're typing, but that aside. Probably just have it flash between an underscore and the thing you're typing. Does it make sense to have a bigger number even if your eyes can barely see 24 FPS? Well, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe not. Why is the debug overlay underneath the other bit? Anyway, we need to put it back on debug build, so that's going to take a minute to rebuild. Let's just let it sit. Can you hear the music okay? It did get over 1,000. WouHou 1 was running at like 4,000 though, so I think there's a lot we could do. It's very inefficient. Let's bring the book back. I got new coffee beans today, by the way. These are really nice. I've decided I'm currently really into like the acidic, fruity ones. This one's like taste notes of kiwi and lemon and something else. Normally I get the chocolate one. They even had one that was like chocolate and like coffee crema. That was 4,000 on your main PC. Oh yeah, you might have been right. How am I feeling today? Not bad. I got a haircut, went out for curry. Got some new coffee beans. I had an espresso macchiato met Havermilk. That was fun. And then for the rest of the day until now, I've just been reading a book. That's it. It's been a nice slow day. I feel like I was doing something else. Oh, I recorded an hour-long Minecraft video. Forgot about that. Those videos are doing great, by the way. It's been like 3 months since I posted one, so I got on that. Hey, man. Chatted to X Core. I reckon the waifu drawing will probably be done in within like a week or two, probably. Depends how long I think he has like a lot of other commissions going on. So we'll have to see. Music's good. Dope. We'll have to see. You have to wait to see me as a wolf girl for now, chat. I mean, I guess I could use the half... Honestly, I think the model he sent me looked pretty finished, but they said they had lots more work to do. I could technically use it, but I don't want to. It's more fun to wait, right? Look at it speeding through this shit, oh my god. It's nice, isn't it, Bonfire? Believe it or not, I've had almost no new viewers in the last 6 years, so it's the exact same as when you left it. My chat's a lot like old school RuneScape. You know when you leave it, it will be the same when you decide to come back. All your XP is the same. Anyway, other stuff we could do. So we could come up with the like visual novel-y bit. That could lead into... I want the game to have like an intro cutscene, you know? Like a... What's the word? Like a graphic novel style intro cutscene. Waste's not that rare. Still the same amount of points? There you go. There's no compound interest on that, huh? Yeah, Cass's theme. I used to make YouTube playlists of like music that I like that's relaxing. Yeah, Waste's been around. Yeah, I wanted the game to have like a graphic novel style intro cutscene depicting the intro. That could be something we implement, but that might be later. It might get annoying if we implement it now. So then we disable it, and then we re-enable it months later and find out it no longer works. I'd rather just put it off until we actually want to implement it. Besides, this like chat head thing might be fine as well. And I'm not going to bother looking into how we did it in WouHou, although I think what we did before was fine. We were focusing way too much on how to store it physically, and I think that really affected how I was designing the program. So I think I'm just going to do everything is in memory and just allow myself to write something as like a fucking JSON file or something. You're finally getting back into programming. You got done-ish with an assignment today and it felt nut. Nice. Okay. So unfortunately streams are at like 4 AM. I'm sorry about that. I was in Australia for the last few months. You know, maybe that would have been a bit easier. Tongue sticking out emoji. What else? Got a lot of drawings in this book. We could do art, I guess, but I think I'd rather have more set designs before we do that. I guess at some point we should consider designing the background system, right? Where you know, you'll have like a normal map with like normal tile sets scrolling, and then when there's a boss fight you get these like earthbound looking backgrounds. Could be a thing, but I think I'm not in that mood right now. I really like how this is like a seeded thing, so it always starts the same. It's kind of nice. There's something relaxing about knowing that this looks kind of random, but it's always the same every time you look at it. I'm really kind of annoyed though, because I kind of wanted it to be centered, but instead it's like stuck to the left of the screen, and that's always kind of annoyed me. I think I tried moving it once and it broke everything. I think as long as I keep the rainbow fade the same, it would be fine. I guess we could fiddle with that. It doesn't matter. Anyway, must have political undertones. Hee hee cheese. God, I've got some real notes in here. Smug mouse, important. Sleepy is important. 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 Spinny idiot, important. I don't want to pretend to you these notes I've got are like by art. I think. Do I have plans for music? Kinda. I'm not very good at music. I think originally I wanted like a Family Tracker 8-bit soundtrack. I think it's a bit obvious as an indie dev to do chiptune, but I like chiptune, so I don't know. What if you composed a song for it? I have no money to pay you for it, so I'd appreciate holding off for now. There's no game yet as well. And besides, maybe it doesn't fit my artistic... I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I feel bad about that. I appreciate the thought, but rein it in for now. There's no music for now. We haven't even got sound effects. That's a system we could work on. I completely forgot about sound effects. I think it gets annoying, right? Remember in like the last game, we just ended up disabling the bubble sound effect because all you'd hear is pop, 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 pop. Oh no! I mean, you're welcome to, if you can draw inspiration from this, you're welcome to use that as for your own practice. But I will probably not be including it in the game for now. For now, I want to handle most of it myself, but we'll see. I want to try and learn myself, at least. We'll see. Maybe it becomes too tough and I have to commission Chat to write the music for the game. Like Nuclear Throne has guest stages, you know? I did have an idea for dynamic soundtrack. I don't know if I would do this, but you know how a lot of N64 games have like Banjo-Kazooie? It's because it's a MIDI. They can change the tracks dynamically. So like if you're underwater, you know, they apply like a ripple filter. If you're nearby a certain enemy, like a certain instrument gets played, or they fade down a certain track. So that the music changes throughout the level, even if it's the same song. I kind of like that. So maybe I'd have to stick to using MIDI, but then I have to use a MIDI library, or I have to write something that sorts that. Feel free to post stuff on Discord. You don't need an excuse, just do it. You be the change you want to see in the server. Hey Scout. I like the idea of dynamic music. I think it's kind of sick. I don't want to do it, but there's some games that change like the amount of left-right, like the panning, based on where you are on the screen. I think that's kind of annoying for this sort of game, but we could think about it. We could have a very light, you know, if you go to the very left of the screen, your bullets come out 5% louder out of the left side of your headphones or something. Maybe that would be fine. I'd have to make it disableable though. Maybe it makes it easier to listen to. There are rules on WouHou server. It's just they're not really there. Segmented spawning. Yeah, I mean we could also consider working on the wave spawning system, because right now the only enemy spawning we've got is this, which is a little shit. If you remember my designs, I had plans for like a you know the Osu editor where you have like a timeline and you place circles and shit. Kind of want something like that for the levels. And you know, if you beat the wave quick, it spawns the next wave a bit faster. You remember when the only rule was don't be a dick? I don't even remember that. That was a rule? I encourage it. When people fight, they post more messages, and that's really good for whatever the word is. I think... I mean, there's other things we can do. We could work on like an INI file. So if you make a setting, it's remembered. They're pretty basic, but could be important. Stuff like making the game spawn by default in full screen if you had it set to full screen would be decent. I guess I could make it so when the game's launched, before anything happens, it tries to go full screen, maybe. Yeah, you know when Google got rid of the don't be evil thing? I got rid of the don't be a dick thing. Oh, thanks for that, Bonfire. You know what? Managed to successfully stall for 20 minutes, that's good. I am going to work on the... fucking... balls, what's it called? The fucking, you know, the... visual novel system, alright? So let me think about how I want to implement that. I'm thinking of implementing it how I had it in WouHou, where like the enemy could fly into a position. They wouldn't be shooting at you, but like the enemy sprite would be on screen. And then they'd start chatting, and then you press a button and it goes to the next one, and then they start chatting, and then it goes to the next one, and it starts chatting, and it goes to the next one, blah, blah, blah. And maybe I could add like, do I want to make it so the text like goes because that's more effort than just drawing it directly. I guess I'd need to implement like new line and stuff. You can go back and look at the old code, no harm in reusing if it's good. Yeah, but that's a heavy if. I guess I could. Maybe it gives us an idea. I guess that would save us time. Sure, let's have a look. No, this is not. It's a WouHou project, isn't it? Project WouHou. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reusing, but in my head, all the shit we did before was terrible. Alright, so we have level structure.text, I think. No, that's not it. Midboss1.text. Alright, let me make a... Where's to do? We had this text file. Right? This was called midboss.text, where we had a text file that says what the PNG names are, which isn't a bad idea, I'll be real with you. And those were defined as like 0, 1, 2, 3. So then when you're doing the dialogue, okay, this isn't actually that bad. I mean, I'll be honest, I was kind of like a super genius for writing all this. It's extremely pointless when like file formats already exist, but I guess I like the idea of trying to write my own. It was kind of fun. Anyway, for the dialogue you have at the start, you define what sprite to use. So surprise, surprise, anger, 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 and it says this line, and then this line, then this line, this line, this line. I don't remember how it knew if it needed to go to a new line. We'll have to see. You could redo this in JSON or XML. I'm thinking so. I think this isn't bad. Like, the idea behind it isn't bad, right? You have a set of images and a set, like, you know, this could easily be redefined as JSON. And then finish dialogue. Eaten. Oh, actually, I guess set is it's the sprites for the enemy itself. So the enemy would be doing these different attacks, which is kind of crazy that I even came up with this. This is like outsider art. It's like, yeah, this is how I'm going to define bullet patterns. No one can read this. I do have technically have this the notes. It's insane. Like an insane man wrote this. Look at this, Robot Worm, 3-month subscriber. Hexagons are evil by nature. Is Robot Worm here today? Probably not, right? How many months is he now? Alright, anyway, oh, I have a notes.txt. Fuck, what's in this? Oh dear. I didn't realize I had notes. Worm waifu set.png. Alright. Alright, source. Let's have a look. I guess this would have been in enemy controller? Enemy controller. Yeah, I think so. So, ow, my knee. So this is enemy controller header. Where we had it so every enemy would store position, health, etc. And there was a boss, which is different. Well, it's a type of enemy. I guess the boss has a vector called boss dialogue, or a type of something. Script, finish, start. I guess the script is like what attacks and stuff he does, maybe. Or like what he does. Which is kind of similar to I wrote that the game would have like a director, so I guess it's similar to that. Dude, this tune slaps. This is Zelda. We only listened to Zelda ever since that guy said he wouldn't watch me if I was a VTuber. This is an odd advanced script, looped script. This is some advanced shit posting. You can tell it had some real heart in it. You know, we haven't caught up to the amount of work I did with the original game yet. That thing had like 40 fucking streams. Did you realize that? And they were all like 5 to 8 hours long. We aren't even like 10% of the way to catching up to Woolen during COVID. I thought this said sex robot waifu. Thinking like, fuck, I don't remember that update. A little disappointed, I'll be honest. Alright. So the enemy controller had some crap. Use bomb. Why is that an enemy controller? Sure. This is an interesting way to do standard for each. I'm kind of digging it. Update boss. If it's giving dialogue, skip here. Did I not do that? Oh, here you go. If in dialogue, return. So I guess the boss just doesn't check to do anything. Okay. What is this? Alright, this is just what the boss is doing in the script, I guess. That's fun. Dude! Majora's Mask remixes. This is a fantastic album. Guys, did you know that Zrio, the Zelda reorchestrated thing, they re-uploaded it like a few months ago for Twilight Princess, but they had to cut out half the album because of Nintendo apparently have never released like the enemy themes outside of Japan. Isn't that bullshit? Imagine like a full orchestrated remix, remaster, and they have to individually license each song with fuck knows how much money. Hey, Webbers. Nice to see you. How's it going? Do you draw...
It's been a while since I was available.
Do you draw the HUD?
streamed.
No, I guess that's somewhere else. Alright, so this seems odd, but fine, I guess. Update enemy. I don't really know what's going on in here, but I'll admit it's a form of genius I could never hope to understand. I call it being locked inside during the pandemic. What else did we have? We have player.c++. What's going on in here? Get out of here. I hoped moving this to the right would help. It did not. I need to like just make this not... You need to not be automatic. How do I stop you from... How do I stop you from hiding? This song is nice. How do I stop this from auto disappearing? It's kind of annoying. Kind of wish it wouldn't. Delete system 32. I thought it was just an auto hide. Maybe I just put it back at the bottom? Maybe that's what it likes. More options. Oh, here we go. Always visible. So now I'll make it smaller if it's always visible. I don't really need it. It's just a bit easier to use on this operating system. Alright, anyway, God, the player did everything. Shoot Baker bullets. Shoot WouHou bullets. Good fucking lord. Alright. How about game.c++? This must be important. Holy shit, game.c++ is where it's all happening. Setup level? Load mid-boss. Oh my fucking god. No wonder I got overwhelmed. Wow. Generate boss. Holy shit. This is rough. This is, I guess, what I was trying to avoid subconsciously. I was like, fuck, game's getting a bit big. Must have had some sort of PTSD or something. Rehome bean. Invite bean to screen. That's important to keep. Y'all ever rehome your bean? Load bean texture. Why is this in here? Handle events. Okay, actually, this is what I was looking at. This seems rather unnecessary. Your cat's name is Bean. That's very cute. I didn't seem to do anything. Mouse button pressed. Syntactic sugar. Why was I so obsessed with syntactic sugar? I swear I just looked at the same code twice. Am I losing it? Update boss HUD, say dialogue, end game, use bomb. Oh, I heard something about dialogue. Process dialogue. Oh. If the line count is larger than 32, insert it. New line. I'm guessing that SFML just had a new line character support, right? I'm gonna take a hot God object-oriented programming. I'm going to take a hot guess and say that libdonut does not, by default, support new line character. Right? I'm trying to, like, set my memory back 20 years. 20 years? No. 15 years. It does! Oh, sick. That makes my life way easier. Holy shit. That's really good. Okay. I'm trying to set my mind back, like, 15 years to when I was making my Zelda engines and how I would make the text do one character at a time and then wrap around. I'm trying to think. I know there's a lot of ways to do it. Let's just try and remember how I used to do it for nostalgia's sake. Who's drawing in this? Who's doing, like, the... Does this draw? I think it does, right? If in dialogue, holy shit. It doesn't have word wrapping yet. Well, that's alright, it doesn't need to have word wrapping. I meant, like, the new line thing's good enough, because I can just check how many characters there are. The game's quite a standard width. I could even check how wide the text itself is. You know? If you're in dialogue, put the chatbot sprite there, draw it, get the text, dialogue string. Alright, so maybe that's given me ideas. It's also given me, like, the light aneurysm. Oh, that's nice. This is good. Game chops, chat. This is not Zelda's Prelude from Ocarina of Time. This is Tarry Town, yeah? One of the 3 songs in Breath of the Wild. And as such, it's been remixed 100,000 times. Alright, let's get back to binging. Back to basics. How do I want to handle this? I hate what I had before, but maybe there's some good stuff in there. Take me back to to-do. Let's look at this. I don't hate the idea of dialogue being associated with PNGs. In my head, I'm thinking of this like a visual novel, right? So if it's a visual novel, let's call them like a let's call it a, what's like an instance of conversation called? Like one, not a whole conversation, but like a, what do you call it in not cinema, in plays, in theatre? You don't just say my line. This is like your, this is that one character's like little, I guess it's sentence. Let's just call it sentence for now. If you can come up with a better name, let me know. Let's call it a chat sentence. If you can think of a better name, let me know. I'm thinking a chat sentence will have an image and some text. And maybe an on finish. Just for now, while we think about it. I'm thinking a conversation. Again, name to be discovered. We'll have a list of those. Yep. I'm thinking it will have a list of sprites. And maybe this has on finish. No? Maybe that's it. Don't think it needs to be fancy. So instead of conversation, actually conversation is fine. And then we can just call it a sentence. I think that's fine. Is that how you spell sentence? Does sentence have an E or an A? Sentence. Sentence, maybe. This seems reasonable, right? So this is a conversation object. Sentence. Oh shit, I was right the first time. Should have just believed myself. How about instead of image, this is Sprite index, and this is just like a string. This is text. Sentence can be just call it words. Keep it obvious, because text could be 100 different things. Let's just call it words. Sprite index, words, string. Dude, I've forgotten some English words. I forgot the word for tinsel. Like the stuff you have at Christmas. Until I read it in a book. I was like, oh yeah. Could Sprite index be a Sprite ID? Yeah. I'm just thinking it out. I'm trying to think about how I would load this in. Would I have a conversation system? This feels like this is the whole instance of a conversation. You spawn this in, it ticks through its things, and then it finishes. You're trying to understand you need a separate sprite list. I mean, this is what's the word? This is ephemeral. I'm writing it right now. You're watching me write with it. I'm trying to think. How would I know to load this in? Would the game have such a limited number of chat heads that I could have a conversation system that just has like a list of all potential chat heads? You know, maybe there's like 20. Or is that wasteful? Would they be animated? No, it's a visual novel. This isn't live 2D. Can't you reuse your animation system? Yeah, I guess so. I'm just wondering how I'm going to store it. How do I normally do it? Render gameplay? Render actor. I guess I could reuse this system. Nothing stopping a big sprite from just being an animation with one frame. Yeah. For every entity with a sprite and transform. If they have health, blink them. If they're respawning, color them. Otherwise, just draw them. I guess it could just be an entity with a sprite and a transform. Would I need to keep track of those entities? Could I just have an entity that's permanently in the registry called like current chat head or something? Current chatter. Current chatter doesn't really need to exist. It's just, well, the one How do I normally do this? How does like the movement system work? You basically just say for every... Where's restricted movement maybe? Did I have a player system? I didn't. Can this stuff be ordered? No. It is ordered. I'm stupid. Okay. What makes a player a player? I'm trying to remember. There's not really a player, right? The player is just, you're making an entity. It has player collision. I should give it a smaller hitbox, let's be honest. Yeah, I guess there's nothing really playery about it other than this. So... how do I normally delete the player? I don't really. I just delete something if it's on 0 health, right? For every entity with health, you destroy it. Okay. I'm trying to, like, wiggle through this in my head. Because I want this to all use the entity component system. I think that's kind of sick. I'm thinking when there's a visual novel thing going on, you remove, like, the weapon system and stuff, so things stop shooting. But maybe you leave most of the others in. What makes a player is probably the action responder. Should it be... no, it's not input responder, because it's just actions. It doesn't have to be from an input. Well, it's from an input, but it doesn't have to be from, like, a keyboard. I'll do Twilight Princess. I'll raise that. There's not really much in here that makes it a player. I think it's movement input, maybe. I think I'd probably get rid of the action responder system, because I don't want them to be able to fire. Or do I? Maybe it's okay. I could duplicate action responder system and have a movement system separated from a shooting system. Or I could say ignore shooting if the game is in VN mode. Hey Lich, what's wrong? When you create an entity, you can save the ID. Yeah, I might do that. Well, that feels a little too object-oriented-y, doesn't it? I'm trying to, like, ignore entities as an individual after I've created them. Like, with the current way the game works, you could just spawn 1,000 players and they would all work. Your favourite manga ended? What were you reading? Dungeon Meshi finished. Really? Wait, Dungeon Meshi. Delicious in Dungeon. Is it called Delicious in Dungeon? I feel like I've heard of it. Is Dungeon Meshi the one with the cute elf girl? I feel like I've seen screenshots from this. That's sad. I hate it when a thing you like finished. You know Senko-san finished. I own every volume of the manga except for volume 1. Thanks, guy in Japan that bought the first one. You might want multiple dialogue states if you split screen. It's true. Let me think for a second. You can't find Senko manga. I had to go into, like... I went to, like, 10 fucking secondhand bookshops until I found them, Scout. And then I found someone where they clearly just dumped their entire collection. They were about €1 each, because they were secondhand, but they are from Japan, so they're immaculate, and they might as well be brand new. They even included, like, bonus shit. Like, I think the 12th volume came with a little art book, and I got that. I got some of my Toho mangas I got had a special stuff as well. Saving a single global entity ID has its downsides. Yeah, I'd rather avoid it. Okay, Donut, here's a thing. Here's a thought. I have a... And not just Donut, all of chat. How about I have a visual novel system, like a conversation system, and the way it handles drawing is varied based on how many conversations there are. Maybe. So, like, if I spawned in 2 conversations at once, it would draw one on the left and one on the right or something. Or is that stupid? I'm not really thinking about, like, multiplayer right now, but I do always think it's kind of a cool idea. Big recommend. I'll look into it. I feel like the conversation needs to be a bit like the way I'm handling player, where it's just an entity. Maybe. Could be specified in a component. Yeah. It could be fun, like if you make friends with them, the bullet hell is different. Maybe. I'm calling it a visual novel because that's how I'm imagining it, as like the WouHou 1 style, where you have like a chat box with a little icon. In terms of actually having options, I think that would take away from the gameplay a little bit. I'll have other ways of you to make friends with enemies. Like, I definitely don't have the idea for a boss that if you just don't shoot them and you time it out, then they something happens and they help you. And maybe that's how you unlock the extra stage. Not spoiling or anything. I want people to finish this game and have a big hollow void. I want to be I had so many voids. I want to be the creator of the void for once. I feel like if you create the void, perhaps you get whatever's gone into it, you know? Just a thought. Alright, let's go back to the to-do. I kind of like... I know how in Touhou everything's just at the bottom of the screen. Maybe I keep it that way. No, I like the idea of being able to at least define if it's at the top or the bottom, you know? Do I have, like, fucking a Sprite? You want a boss that goes tsundere if you time it out? Do I need to... Whatever. Alright, get this. So this is like the Playfield, right? So you'd have the player down here. And you'd have the enemy up here. Originally, how do I bring back... There was a button for this. I've completely forgotten what it was. View timeline? Oh, tab. How do I do a new line? Here we go. So originally I was thinking... we just shove the chat box at the bottom, like this. And, you know, we just draw the sprite here. That's not... And then, you know, you click through it, blah, 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 blah. Pog switches between, you know, this Pog and... You know, the different characters have their conversations. And then it ends. That would be the easiest way to implement it. And that's kind of what we did in WouHou. But I'm kind of thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you could say, like, if the chat box is, like, the Pog at the bottom, and this would be, like, the boss, because now the player's covered up. And then I duplicate that, and then I have a version up at the top. How do I move? What's the... what are you? V. And then you have one up here. Whoops. I don't know how the sprite would look. Maybe it'll be down a bit. So, you know, you could decide if you want it at the if you want like the guy at the bottom to go like Pog, and then it switches, and then they're like Pog. I don't know if that would get annoying. Because it's kind of inconsequential, right? I think this looks kind of bad, actually. I haven't really thought about how I'd deal with split screen. Maybe that's a job for future me to worry about. Okay, this is giving me ideas. I'm thinking... I'm thinking we make the chat head sprite a standard size, like 64 by 64, whatever. And we can just define if it's left or right. You know? Does that matter? And then maybe a conversation is just a big stack of these. Having the chat box in the same area gets your vote. Maybe it's a little difference for each character. You could have a position associated with the player. Yeah, I was thinking that. I don't know to what extent I want to take this, because it is purely just like a thing people will skip through and ignore. And I'm not that... I don't believe that much in my ability to write, I'm gonna be honest. The game might be even better without any conversations. I mean, there's an alternative to this, right? Which is we have the POG just come off the boss itself. So the boss is talking and it's like, wow, wow, wow. And the players... You know, this POG, maybe. Maybe the player loses the ability to move. And they're just going like, POG, POG, POG. POG, POG, oh fuck. POG, POG, POG. Like when a boss spawns, maybe your player flies automatically to the middle of the screen and they have a conversation. Kind of cinematic. It does mean you always would start the boss fight in the exact same position. I don't know how I feel about that. It would prevent wriggle punch or wriggle kick, where like the boss spawns in and just kicks you in the face. I kind of like the player being able to move around and fuck about. There's something fun about that in games like Half-Life, where they'll be having a serious conversation with you and you're jumping on their head and shit. Toho does do the speech bubbles. I was thinking about that, especially the newer games. I don't know how I feel about the speech bubbles. I think I like the full-on. I feel like the speech bubbles are a cop-out, so Zun doesn't have to draw a full sprite. What do you think? Like Momoji never says anything. Or does she say something with like a speech bubble? Sounds like a good excuse. I don't want that. That seems like too much of an excuse. I want my Momoji to be fully written. Hang on, I want to put on like an actual album. Actually, wait, hang on, this slaps. Okay, this does kind of slap. Ba-boom. 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 Alright, anyway, sorry, this is all beside the point. Make the main sprite prettier then. Make yourself prettier then. Got him. No, I'm kidding. Okay, I think we need to reuse as many systems as possible, right? Can I make it so you have to shoot the chat box to advance it? Or is that really stupid? Like, could the chat box be a real thing in the game engine that you have to shoot through? And if like your player's under it, you like instantly hit it. So if you just go to the bottom and hold down the shoot button, you'd eventually get through conversation. That sounds kind of like a fun gimmick, doesn't it? What do you think? The chat box explodes into pieces. I'll be honest, it sounds kind of sick. I don't know what you lot think. I was like, how do I do... You know how like in Zelda games, they try and have as few systems as possible, but have them work interestingly? Could the chat box itself be like a thing you could shoot? And it like wobbles when you shoot it. I'm kind of digging that. That would solve me having to write... That would solve me having to write something to, what's the word? Having to, like, you know, advance text. I think it sounds fucking sick. And I could make some text boxes that have a bit more health. So stupid. Maybe you have to shoot it for the number of like characters in it or something. Alright, this is sick. Shoot the chat box. Fuck it up. Real good. That's kind of sick. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I'm kind of like a super genius. I promise you this is relevant. This is work. This is part of the project. Whoa. Maybe the player is so unbelievably angry they never say anything. I like that. Maybe they don't have a tongue or something. That's fun. I like that. Every playable character's mute. I don't know. I want to work on this. So the chat box conversation system... The sentence also needs to have a health. Hacker Freeman. Alright, I'm gonna skip to a different album. I want to listen to the Twilight Princess soundtrack, dude. TP OST. Full OST with timestamps. Go for it. 6 hours. I remember not buying it in Tower Records because it was like fucking 40 quid, but I guess there's a reason it's like 40 quid, huh? It's quite a serious sitting down and like agreeing to listen to this for 6 hours is serious. This is like the length of a game. Hot soup. Hot soup. I think it's important that your sentences have health. Because some people's conversations are fucking weak. And it really means a lot when you're having like a verbal attack on someone and it depletes their health. The late game boxes have armored chat boxes. Maybe. Or maybe there's some chat boxes you can't shoot and they just go over in their own time. I don't know. I don't want to distract from the actual gameplay too much because you know it would be a funny gag the first time, but kind of tedious in future runs. Sorry, I shouldn't have put this soundtrack on. I'm not going to be able to get any work done. They use the chat boxes as protection. Hey, careful. Oh, is this the trailer music? I should have not put this on. I really like the Twilight Princess soundtrack. It's so, like, full. It's like, people underestimate how insane it is, I think. I never hear anyone talking about it. Yeah, this is the trailer theme. Alright, sorry, I need to focus. I think... the conversation system needs... God, they really fucked over Twilight Princess HD, didn't they? They could have done so much with it, and instead they just spent like 2 months using AI to upscale a couple textures and then fucked it out on the Wii U. It needed more than that. I'm not buying a new console and a Wolflink statue just to get one more dungeon either. You kidding me? Sorry. I hope they put it on Switch and like make it better. It's such a good game. Like, what if Link was like a fucking grown-ass adult? What a good game. Ba, ba, ba. Sorry, I can't help it. I need to decide how to do this. I think if I have a conversation system, right, I'm gonna need I need a function to like start convo. So start conversation. And it needs to like load appropriate entities. Set up local like list of This can be called like the conversation. Current convo. Convo sprites. So I think load conversation, like set up current convo, set up convo sprites. How am I going to keep track of when an entity is destroyed? Because I'm thinking I would use that to know when to spawn the next chat box. Maybe I just literally store into like current convo, current sentence entity ID, with whatever that is. Maybe? And then every update, we check to see registry.valid. Okay. So like during update, I'm thinking, or tick, or something. Maybe tick, it doesn't have to be update. It doesn't have to be that frequent. How about during tick? If what do you say? Registry.valid entity. So if it's not valid, spawn next convo sentence. We need to have a spawn sentence. Create entity of sentence. Set this. Do I like to have a boolean that says like is active or something? BRB. I'm not worried that this would cause a race condition somehow, so we'd have to test it a lot. If no convo left, run on finish. I think that's fine. This is like a good starting ground. I'm thinking we have an entity. This sentence is probably an entity, right? Which means it's a struct. It has a sprite index or a whatever. Maybe even just a pointer to the sprite. Might be fancy. There's not going to be that many of these. Pointer to texture. BKC just released another video. Holy oak. Hey, Lucas. I really should have bought this soundtrack. It was on CD, though. Maybe I'd get it on vinyl, but how many vinyls do you need to fit 6 hours? Some of you are nerds, right, chat? What's like the longest format vinyl you can get? How long would it take to fit 6 hours on it? I guess I could just get like a highlights vinyl. I don't own a vinyl player. CD's nuts. Oh god. Are you sure, Menace? It's important your sentence is health. I think this all seems fine. Alright? And then maybe we have like position. And I might... Should I just make position an enum? Like top, down, left, right? I think I should. Maybe I adjust this position enum at some point. Or maybe it's not even necessary. Sentence. Position. I just put position. Because you can have inside things. Top. Let's just do left equals 0, right equals 1 for now. About sentences having health. They could have the health opponent. Yeah. Don't worry. But I was a little... no, I think that's okay, yeah. But let's just do, like, starting health for now. I think entities that have health have that, right? In the template factory? No, it's not template factory. It's, entities. Oh, I love this one. God, that game's good. Actually, I guess it's just the health component, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, easy. I guess I could use layer to decide where to draw it. Maybe not. Starting health does make sense. I'm wondering... Let's make it simple for now. Keep it simple, stupid. Does it even need texture then? Because that would have a texture, sentence entity. These are just things the entity would have. These aren't things that need to be stored here, are they? What are they? How do I currently do that? I think it would just have an animation component attached to it, right? Yeah, health has max health. I think that's fine. I'm guessing I could just chuck this on it as well. So Sprite... It needs to have very little on it. I guess the joys of a component, right? Right, let's get to implementing it then. Actually, hang on. I think the sprite for the entity is going to be the chat head. And I think the words will be a separate thing entirely. Maybe even just HUD system draws it. I don't know if I need to make an entire new system just for this. But I guess I could put it in this conversation system. Make it all just self-contained. It doesn't need to be that extreme, right? I'm just drawing some text to the screen. I don't know if I need to split it up that much. Maybe I don't need to bog down HUD system with this. Let's see. Let's see how we're feeling. Let's make a new component then. You'll find most components end up a lot smaller than the equivalent objects in your old code. Oh yeah, well, tell me about it. Alright, so let's make a sentence. Oh. You're gonna have some words. Oh. Hey, fuck off. You're gonna have a position. I don't really remember. Did I say struct? I didn't just write struct, did I? Oops. This matches how I've done everything else. Oh, I should put you at the top. Sorry. Can you briefly explain to me again what the difference between enum and enum classes in C++? When you read words, you would expect an array of strings. How about text? Well, I explained earlier, I didn't want to call it text because there's so much stuff in the drawing library that says text, and a lot of it isn't literally the text. It's like It means like an instance of some typeface or like a text sprite or the thing that's being drawn. So I think the way I'll be handling this is sentence.words. I think that's fine. I don't mean words as like you just use string. Standard string, sentence.string. Yeah, that's alright. Let's go with that. Whatever. I think it's a little weird calling it string, but I don't care. Now you can take part 2. It's not called standard string? Oh, cock. Okay, it's just complaining. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. This seems okay. Cool. Let's make... What's an easy system to copy? Culling system. You look cute. I'm gonna copy you. I'm gonna call this conversation system. My poor ears, dude. You know there was a TikTok dance based on one of the songs from this game? The kids are fucking obsessed with the like Mallow Mart song. I did not know this. I don't remember how I came across it. I think I googled for Mallow Mart theme because I was trying to listen to it. And there were like a million like vertical videos of people like jamming out, and I was like, dude, this is maybe social media isn't so bad. Oh shit. Is culling system called just culling system? Should be called system culling system. What a blunder. Conversation system. I think it's storing the game would be handy. And then conversation tick, and then nothing in it for now. I'm gonna leave this in. Actually, get rid of that. This was a good one to copy. I just found out that my like OBS audio filter gets rid of me whistling, which is kind of sad. I wonder how many times I've whistled in the last year and you've never heard it. You just think I'm like shutting up for a minute. Plain enums aren't scoped, so the names don't need a prefix and clutter the surrounding namespace. Plain enums can be accidentally converted to and from int. Okay. So if there's something which I think I'll be using fucking everywhere, I could just make it a standard enum. If I just want to access it really easily anywhere. But for what I've been doing here, then it's perfectly fine to keep it as enum class. That's cool. What makes it an enum class in particular? Is it a completely different beast, and they just have the same word enumerator, or like is it it's like a brand new thing and it's very different, or what? Let's have a... We'll need to decide what we pass into this. I don't know how we're going to handle that quite yet. Maybe this is where you could pass in the list of sentences and sprites. Meh, honestly, let's pass it in here. Let's make it a vector. I had to do include vector, I don't remember. Actually, that should be fine. You need to include sentence. No, you're in components. Enum class just has some random syntax that happen to be free in the standard to differentiate from the regular enum, but you could think of it more like being a strongly typed like class type. Fun fact, enum struct also worked as the same thing. Oh. More strongly typed, more class-like. Okay, cool. Oh shit. Sorry. Start conversation. Part in the sentences. And tuck in the sprites. Do I need that? Do you need that? Do you need that? Do you need that? You need that. I think you need that. Yeah. Do you? Maybe you don't. I think you do. Enum class probably be the default. Yeah. Well, they certainly are in Kotlin. It's a pain in the arse trying to turn them into integers. Because sometimes you do need that. Why are you complaining? I think there's so few sentences that having them know their texture could be easy. You know? Just to make spawning them in a bit easier. Or should I make something separate to the component? Like sentence component, could that be different to the thing that... Because this needs a texture. How is it meant to know? Why not just an animation ID? No, but I'm thinking... Spring Sprite ID. Well, I'm thinking when I pass it in here, into conversation system, I want to have this function called start conversation that like spawns all the entities and shit. Or like, you know, whenever the next sentence needs to happen, it correctly spawns the entity and somehow it needs to know what texture to pass in. What is a sprite ID again? How do I do this? Render HUD system. No, I guess it's render actor system. For every entity with a sprite. You already have a global texture atlas that hands them out. Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, a conversation is going to be, what, like, fucking 10 of these. It's okay to duplicate the reference to a sprite 10 times. I don't see any issue with that. What I do see issue with that is that these components will have them kind of pointlessly outside of when they're spawned, but maybe that's okay. Maybe it simplifies the code base a little bit. What is a sprite ID? What are you talking about with that? Is that what the animation repository spits out? This isn't it. Registry.view. For every sprite, draw ID is animation repository.getFrame. Oh yeah. It's a bit of a pain. Do I need to construct the animation and pass it in there? And maybe the conversation system holds onto a list of animations? I don't want to overcomplicate it. I want to, like, when you're writing it, I want you to just say, like, Use the fucking surprised face and write this line. You know? What's the best way to handle that? What type is Sprite ID? What is this Sprite ID that's being spoken about so much? That I've heard all these things about it. I don't remember this creature. Let's look at the template factory, maybe. When we spawn a bullet, we add animation. Add animation takes a reference to a solo animation and something
Stopping
else.
by for 71.
So what is test animation? Test animation is a thing in template factory. It is stored. Oh, Cerny, I was thinking about you the other day. Not like in a weird way, but in like a nice way. How have you been? I think I was thinking about you after a shower. So not in the shower, because that's weird, but like when I was like, you know, like degrossed. How are you, brethren? What have you been up to? How's life? Doing good. That's Fandabby Dozy. How's the streaming and the job and everything? Got a week alone. Parents on vacay. Sometimes you gotta catch yourself that free vacay. Sweet vacay. What is it? Funky Kong. ASMR Funky Kong drives you home from the airport after your holiday. Bodacious. JSON file could have... Oh, this is a frightening song. Could list the raw image file path, and the loader converts it to the respective sprite ID before storing it. Alright. Fancy boy. Let's say that... Am I gonna have to write this fucking JSON format? I don't know if I want to... I mean, it wouldn't have to be the JSON format. I could write the... What am I trying to make work? I want to make the, like, Chatbox system. Like, the, you know, like the visual novel thing that games always have. Where, like, your fucking character is like... You know, at the bottom of the screen, like this bit. And then you go through it, and then the next one, and then you go through it, and then the next one. And, like, the classic C++ streamer is, we spent half an hour wondering what the best way to pass around the sprite is. Because of course it matters. But Cerny, I had a fun idea. I thought it'd be cool if you shoot the box to get rid of it. What do you think? Like that's how you like get through it. Like the box would have a health bar, like a health bar, and you have to shoot through it to advance the text. I thought that was fun. You see how easily you load JSON in libdonut. I meant more that then I'd have to start thinking about how I'm formatting it. How fast can you shoot? Fast enough. I mean, I could also cheat and make it so it blows up a second after you shoot it. It could be speedrun tech, yeah. Maybe it's more efficient to play a character that's weaker but shoots faster to get through the text faster. I don't know, I don't like that. I think it's a cool idea, but it's one of the things that sounds cool on paper, but you know, in practice, people would be kind of annoyed that they have to use a shit character just to get through the bloody health boxes. I'm trying to avoid making it like tedious, you know. I want it to be fun, and then once you're over the gimmick, you just forget about it. You just hold down the fire button, you know, it's fine. I could even make it so like once you've beaten the game, you can toggle it off or something. I don't know. For now, I think it's just kind of like fun. I like games that have a like in-game reason for the menus or something. The format could just mimic the underlying data structure. Yeah, but I was thinking that I need to now think about the data structure. I guess I could have it... Should I just make something that isn't a... Where are you, dude? Bring me components. Should I make something that isn't a component for this? That is, like, the format. You need to think about it anyway. I was thinking future me could think about it. Okay, let's reword this. Let's get rid of all this other bullshit. Get out of here. Oh fuck, I should have saved. Oh no, it's gonna crash now. The option there, even though don't save was a button, that was not the correct one to click on. Fucking Linux is the worst operating system I've ever used. It's just so stable. You don't get freezes, you see? Like, get out of here. Why would I want to move this window around? Which distro? This is the Steam Deck. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. I just spammed escape and it now works again and I can click on stuff. That hasn't happened to me, so I don't know. Classic Linux player. I've never had that issue, so it doesn't exist. Wah 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 la 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 la. Would I just switch to using this on my main machine? Maybe, honestly. I'd always complain about telemetry. Maybe I'd sideload Windows so I could stream Genshin, because I haven't played that in like half a year. You haven't had 80% of your issues on Windows. Don't remind me about Windows. I hate all operating systems. Mac OS sucks ass, but I love the like swipes. Windows sucks ass, but I like the old programs work. And Linux sucks ass. Play Genshin on your phone. That's what I've been doing. I was playing it in Australia on 400 ping on my phone. And then I've not played it since. I haven't played since like France was released or anything. I think I logged in to get a cat girl. And then I immediately like logged out. Why are there crisps here? Who put these here? Dude, I bought chocolate biscuits at the shop today. Thanks for reminding me, chap. Deployed that. Fucking, they had Mars bars, like a 10-pack for like £4. What a steal. They also have McVitie's Digestives Milk Chocolada. Tara biscuit, Milk Chocolada. I'm gonna have a chocolate biscuit, chat. I haven't had one in so long. Let's try it out. It's not the dark chocolate one, unfortunately, but I'll just have to live. Mmm. Chocolate biscuit. Mmm. Chocolate biscuit. Hmm. Alright, sorry, I was enjoying my chocolate biscuit. Man, I forgot how much fun junk food is. Let's have a data. Remember you were trying to get Visual Studio installed on your PC for 5 hours? Didn't think about it. Let's have a data folder. Actually, we just have a thing called data, don't we? Somewhere? This folder's called data, but this isn't where data is. Entity data. Okay. Because we need to think about this for storing leaderboard entries and stuff anyway, right? Let's have a struct. We'll have a JSON file for every cutscene. Cutscene conversation. Alright? I don't know the formatting that you're using for JSON, but I'm going to assume that it's some basic codable-esque thing. As long as I use like string and int, it should be fine. So let's say a conversation. The way it's stored in JSON, right? Every conversation has a... I don't know if I have to do this as an array or a vector or whatever, but let's just do... What'll be a JSON array? Wait, is that a thing? No. Let's just say it's an array. A standard array? Standard array of... How do I, like... Do I want to define this in a way... Should I maybe not use the WouHou names? JSON array is a thing, but you could just pass into a vector if you want. Let's just use a vector then. Standard vector, cutscene conversation of, I want to... Should I just call it, like, JSON? Like, something really obvious to differentiate it so I don't accidentally use it elsewhere. I'm just going to do this for now, just to simplify things. We can reword it in a second, but I just don't want to complicate things. Cutscene conversation definition. That's so much longer than JSON, but you are right. Let's just do this for now. You can be a struct as well. So you need to have a struct of conversation JSONs. And a conversation JSON will have a standard string text and a standard string standard string for a second. You know what? I'm gonna reuse the oh shit. I'm gonna reuse what I was doing here. We're gonna have a standard int for Sprite index. I like what I had here, and it kind of worked. So we're gonna have a vector of these conversations, which this is basically what this is, right? Like line by line, text and a Sprite index, text Sprite index. Oh, did I do standard int? Sorry. Sorry, std int. That's this. So we have a vector of those. We need to have a vector. Standard string Sprite file names. File paths. The int is what you suggest can be a Sprite ID. Okay. So we're gonna have this, and that stores this. So if you have a conversation, you could write it like this, right? You could have I don't know, if this is JSON, it would be like oh, whoops. Conversations. I should just call it convos. It's such an easy way to get a spelling mistake. But we could have conversations. It's JSON. I forget. I feel like it's like this. So you'd have like Pogo Doggo, and then so this could be, actually it shouldn't be conversations, it should be called sentences. We shatter Doggo. Great. It's all colons. Oh, is it? Yeah, something seemed off about using equals. Also, when you talk about colons, I thought you were going to talk about Gastio to ISIS or something. I've not been hearing the word colon in a good light lately. The entire compiler is comments. Oh, Sony, what have you been playing lately? How have you been? We don't chat. Explain that. It's not my fault, is it? Could be. Could be my fault. Let's call it sentences. Not really, just Isaac and Arknights. How's Arknights going? I've been playing Blue Archive, which fucking slaps. I know you like Arknights. I think I downloaded it when you said you liked it. I think I uninstalled it because my phone needed space because I have so many fucking pictures. I know people like the story though. Is it too late to jump in now though? Like, is like all the main events like 5 years old and I'm never gonna get any of the limited characters? Or is never really too late? Yeah? Because I've really enjoyed with Blue Archive. Like, I've started playing pretty early because the global one came out like a year or two after the Japan one. So I actually joined, I didn't realize it, I joined like pretty soon after the global release came out. So I've been doing like all the main events as they've come out and all the story beats. It's been really fun. There's more of one event that wasn't renamed, which reran, which is the Rainbow Six Siege. There's a Monster Hunter one. Oh shit! Maybe I'll download it for that then. Or do you think I could even do that? Yeah, Blue Archive had a Miku, like a Hatsune Miku crossover that I'll never get to do, but I don't even think it's on global. Maybe it is. Anyway, how does this look? So we can have Pogo Doggo, and then we'd have Sprite file paths. So I like them being like English readable, right? God, Twilight Princess fucks, dude. No wonder it's the most mature game. Oh, but Majora's Mask has serious, yeah. But Twilight Princess, he's like 20. I know he's actually like 16, but like, be real with me, Twilight Princess Link's like fucking 20. Or like 18 or something. I don't care how old he actually is in the game. Why not just define the sprite file paths directly in place instead of indices? I thought it would get kind of annoying, because I'm kind of thinking you'd basically handwrite this. I guess I don't have to handwrite it, but I wanted to keep it kind of easy. I think it's a lot easier to look at a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 than like a file path, but I guess I could. I don't know, I guess I could also write like a basic like Python window that you could type this stuff into and edit it. Because this also represents how it would look in game, right? I think it's the opposite. It's easier to see which file path is associated with its sentence. You reckon? Have a look at it, I guess. I was mostly thinking about how I'm going to have to read through this later. This makes parsing it ever so slightly more annoying. Oh, dude, it's Midna. They're fine, whatever. Fuck it all. Well, at this point, this might as well be the root, but I don't know if you can make the root of a JSON file a... It has to be an object. You can't have an array as the root. Like, this bit has to be a JSON object, I'm pretty sure. Read all dialogues from a text file and pass the associated sprites. It can be any type, an array is fine. Wait, can you can just... So could I make... No, you can't... This is not a valid JSON file, is it? It can even be a number. So a valid JSON file is just 0? Seriously? In what world? So how do I define this? How is this read? You have the root is a vector of sentences. It's usually an object for extensibility. I kind of like making it an object because then I can add like extra parts if I need to. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because then if it makes it much easier to add extra parts. I guess if I wanted to really make this JSON, I'd do this. I could even just call it Sprite, let's be real. This is fine. You can guess that this is what this means. Conversations before disaster. Conversation JSON. Cutscene definition. Let's call it conversation. Conversation definition. Conversation definition. Sentence definition. Your suggestion would be to have the sprite ID right there instead of a string, since the loader can handle the conversion. What do you mean by sprite ID? Explain yourself. You just told me that I had that. Graphics sprite ID. You can put that in JSON? You've got that's an extensible class for this? No, but you can convert it. Hang on, how powerful is this JSON thing that you've done? How strong are we talking here? It sounds like I'm about to kill someone, doesn't it? This music. Dude, this is such a late game song. Why is this playing now? Oh no, I guess it's not. I guess it's also used just in the first Twilight area. Bindings. Isaac and his Isaac lived alone in a house on a hill. Isaac and his mother would watch Christian broadcasts on the television. And they were both happy. That is, until one day that Isaac's mother heard a voice on the television. Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved. Take all that is precious to him. Yes, my lord. I would do anything for you. I haven't listened to the intro in a while. Alright, let's have a look. We've got some crap here. Try JSON parser. File system, open system, read all into string, parse object. JSON on element, blah blah blah. So if the key, which is, I guess, the thing that's being read, if it is... What the fuck is this? Events? Is this? No. How is this? How does actions look? Hang on, what's the file called? Data? Configuration. Bindings. It's just a JSON file. There's a little more. I'm just going to assume that this checks to see if the text that's being ran as a string matches this. Matches an element of this input. Maybe? No. Events? I'm gonna guess that's how that works. Events input unknown. It checks if input isn't unknown. But what is input? Input equals events find input key. This doesn't explain much to me. What is an input? Is this as in like a keyboard input? It's a keyboard input, okay. Well, it's more that I was wondering what the word input was. It's a keyboard input. So, if the key that's being read matches the name of one of these enum elements and it's not unknown, then do some stuff with it. This source location, bind action. If it's a array, pass it as an array or a string. What does this mean? Or JSON on string. So I'm guessing pass value could return a false or it's a void. JSON on array builds a parser that handles arrays. Hang on, let me read that. The visitor can be combined using pipe. It returns a visitor that uses the given callback on string. This is a little more complicated than I thought. You can combine with different JSON on with the pipe operator. You overloaded it. Sure. How does Sprite index work again? It's not something that we get out. It's not generated for us. What is Sprite index? What is Sprite index? Sprite index. You keep saying it. What is it? Let's take me to components. Sprite index. We have a sequence in the animation repository. Maybe it's in there? Sprite ID. How do I know what this is to hard write it? Why is this easier than just writing the name of the file? I guess we don't have to make it a different file. The actual JSON will just have the file name. Why have you been confusing me? This just sent me on a huge rabbit hole. Why? Oh, God. Okay. I'm thinking... Oh. Yeah, okay, fine. That makes... Jesus Christ, dude. Okay. Unnecessary. I think I will make every chat head a separate file because it really trivializes this. I want to do that. I don't want to have like... I don't want to fuck about. No more fucking about. Dude, this song's a real tune. Alright, let's save this somewhere. Let's save this sentence somewhere. So you're gonna have text and Sprite. This is just like a test file. Somewhere in data, we're gonna have a folder. Can I make a folder, please? New folder. I'm gonna call it conversations. In there, I'm gonna have test conversation.json. I guess it should be like this. Why are you like this? I hate this song, dude. Why are you angry? I think you're not angry. I think you're just complaining for no reason. This looks good. We shatter doggo. Oh, you're an equals. Okay, I don't know why he's red. That usually means bad, but maybe in this color it doesn't. So we've got a test conversation here. The sprite doesn't terribly matter, so let's just shove something random in. Date, graphics, data. Hang on, why is this gone in here and not the folder that I just had open? Jesus wept. Textures. Dither chan. It's time to get the boobies out. Data textures slash dither chan. So we can have dither chan for these two, and then bean for the other one. Unquoted identifiers is a JSON 5 feature. Wait, really? I think I did just download something to make it easier. Oh, you can just do this. That's nice. Fine. This looks good, right? This looks reasonable. This looks like something you could handwrite if you had to. Or turn into an extremely rudimentary, like, Python program. Because I'm thinking that's what I'd do for my... I haven't done Python in a while, but I did a little bit at work at some point. It was kind of handy for scripts. Maybe it'll be fun. Could even make it a website that generates a web app. Fancy. Android app. You don't need data, because data is already the main data directory. Sick. Let's just do it here for now. This is fine. So we've got sentences, text, and sprite. Looks good. Let's go back here. So we need to pass in a standard string. I don't know if I've got a better way to do this. I'm just going to do this. Conversation file name. Let's be simple with it, okay? So, let's be basic. Oh, it's just this. So, we need to load the conversation from this JSON file. Let's have a look at the end components we were making. No, let's not. Let's ignore it for a second. Let's just go in here. We need to make a vector of... What was I doing? If you don't want to pass the whole file system, you can just give it the JSON string directly. Is that not what I've just done? Is that not this? Is that not this? Is this... Is that... I don't know. Just leave it for now. We'll get to bits when we get to it. I'm sure we'll need to adapt. Don't worry. Where was my example? Take me to my example. Test conversation. Here we go. So this looks nice. And then in components, I think. So I'm thinking a sentence is just going to be this bit. It has a position, it has a string, and it needs to have a sprite ID. However that looks. It's a mystery. Animation sheet sprite ID? Is that what it's called? That can't be right, can it? No, it's not. What type are you? What's it called? It's this. So I'm guessing this can be GFX sprite ID. What song is this? Like Nighttime or something? I don't recognize this version of Auden Village. Is this when you're a wolf, maybe? I don't recognize it. This looks reasonable. Let's make it match this. Let's just call it text. Fuck it all. Alright? Fuck it all. This is fine. This must be when you're a wolf. So we are going to have a standard vector of sentence called, yeah, that's right, sentences. Wow. And they each have a sprite ID and they have a text. Let's have a no, it should be a fucking the standard fucking size T sentence index. We're gonna have what else? I mean, this might be fine for now. The ideal type would probably be const char, because that's what the file system library expects for its paths. It allows null terminated strings other than standard string to be passed in without a copy. Oh, as in the component? This. Sure. Const char it is. We need to go to data. Yeah. Text, sprite. So you want these to be a... No, that's not... No, not the component. Okay. Fine. Maybe this overlying thing is unnecessary then. Maybe I could just get away with this. This is not looking to be as simple as like the Swift decodable or JSON dot from JSON, where you just have to define it in code. Let's not do that then. This is fine. This is spooky. Okay. This is okay for now. You reckon we need to pass in the file system, right? Where is the file system? One of you probably uses it, right? Fucking render HUD, you love the file system. Dude, this soundtrack's full of bangers. Hang, you might already have Donut in it. Hang on, there's entity and GLM forward. What do these files do? Why do I want that? I don't think I want that. I need to add this file system in. Man, what a tune. I could have it in the constructor. I'm not going to. I'm thinking the conversation system stays pretty static. So we pass in the file name. Dope. We now need to clear the current things. So let's do that. Why do you look the way you do? Oh, you needed one of these old beans, huh? Did you say I could just do this? Can I just do that here, or is that just in the definition? I feel like I need to do this, right? Sentences equals... Like, in here, sure, I can go, like, crazy. But in this, I need to do equals like this, right? Let's have a look. The component needs to be standard string, otherwise the text data would need an external storage, because it doesn't own its underlying buffer. Which is why it's good as a parameter type for start conversation. Technically, it should only be start conversation that needs the file system, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just keep it simple for now. This is fine. We might need it for something random later, I don't know. I think it's not going to matter. Yeah, it's only for initialization, though. In this case, you prefer to do .clear because it will keep the allocated memory. Sure. Here. I mean, clear is different to empty. Alright, dope. This is all coming up, Millhouse. You are all looking great. Keep up the good work. Fantastic. Okay, let's let's adapt the JSON thing. Where was that? Game? This old fucking song and dance. So here you pass in a const char file path. I understand. Hang on then, am I stupid? Because I made... Oh, this is scary fucking music. I must have been stupid if this is playing. Oh no, this is standard string text. What am I thinking? Data? Oh god. This game has some fucking slappy songs in it. Should these be standard string? Or does this... I feel like this should be the standard string, right? Sentence definition. These should probably be standard string and Sprite ID. Can you re-explain to me what the fuck Sprite ID is? Like, what is it? You like turtles? Dude, sick. Why not tortoises, though? You get twice the amount of fun. You like both turtles and tortoises. The Sprite ID is a sub-region of the global Sprite Atlas. Yeah, but this is the JSON definition. This has nothing to do with it. What the fuck is a tortoise? I think you're confused, Donut. This is the I should have put the JSON in the name. I knew it. It's a struct, not a JSON. No, but this is the JSON components. This is the component thing. This has a Sprite ID in it. See? See? This is the component. Yeah. Right? Or are you saying I should hardcode it even further and not even have a definition for when I'm reading in the JSON and just check to see if the tag is text or sprite? Why do you need to store the string in an intermediate struct instead of loading it in directly? Well, you see, Donut Viking chap, I don't understand the intricacies of your JSON parser. Every other language I use with a JSON parser that wasn't written in the last 200 years, you define an equivalent of the JSON file in your actual language, so Swift or Kotlin or whatever. You define it as it should be in the JSON, and then you use a library to magically do it for you. So running with that experience that I've had, that's what I did. I'm running under the hot assumption that your library doesn't want me to do that, and I just want to write manually the word text and sprite in this, and it's not like a... Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. I think we're on 2 different planets. This is fine. That's not quite how my library works. You see, I didn't know that. I didn't write it. Wouldn't be possible because you can't get the field names of a struct yet. Ah, okay. Wait, really? Huh. Okay, well, whatever. Moving on. We're learning. We're finding out. We're finding out all things about ourselves. And that's fun. Jason can be whatever he wants. Jason is trying his bloody best, alright? Just leave him alone for 5 minutes. Alright, what is this? Doing an old try-catch. What do these do? Whoa. Spooky. Doing reflection in C++ is fucky. Who was it? Forgive me, I'd forgot the name of the guy. Who's the guy on YouTube that made one of the many people that made the Minecraft clone, and then he made the robot game with lights and a cave. And then I think he was doing something 3D, I don't remember what. He has like a fucking Apple avatar, and he wrote a C++ reflection library to try and solve some issue, right? Do you know who I mean? I can't remember his name. Not Notch, no. Like a recent guy, like a recent developer. You can get the types and offsets with some template magic, but getting the names is out of reach for cross-platform. His name's like J something, maybe. I don't fucking remember. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Let's move on. We're fucking about. So, let's have a look. Let's read through this bit by bit. So we've got the JSON string parser, .parse object. We're opening... Wait, hang on. File system, that's correct. So file system open the file at this path. Read all into a string. Lovely. Parse object. Okay. So that's all of this. So, on element, I'm guessing, is on each thing that it lands on. That's of value to me as a person. I'm guessing that's either a key or a value. Or maybe it's just a whole line, maybe. Or it's like an element. So this is like JSON object, maybe. So for every JSON object it comes across, perhaps. How does it handle like how does it handle embedded things? Because I thought in your binding everything's like a flat structure, isn't it? I thought? Or are there some embedded thing? No, these are all flat. Do I need to maybe look into that? On element is for each pair of key value. It gives you the key and a parser. Okay, so I need to do the embedding myself, I'm guessing, right? Or the... not embedding. I mean, embedding's kind of the word. I guess I could make it... Ooh, I'm not going to. But if this was like a programming interview, you could make it a recursive. Ooh. Imagine that. Fucking recursive function in a real program. Any fans of recursion in chat? Put your hands up. I'm thinking I could sort of hard code a little bit. So we're not doing this really. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm reading from sentences. So is it stupid to just for now? Just for now? You know? So I'm reading the root, and now I'm in here, and now I want to pass a sentence. Right? So maybe I pop all this stuff in there. So we're not checking if it's an input. We want to pass the element here. Yeah, that's how I expect you to do it, but you can't switch on strings. I actually have to make it an if. Fuck. Okay. If key, that's fine. I feel like I've ran into that before, and I was also surprised. Sorry about that. So, if the first line is sentences, so now we're reading this. Well, actually, we're reading this. So the value is now an array of an object that has 2 strings in it. So, what is parser here? What does string parser mean? Does it just convert whatever characters it sees here into a string? Because really what I want to say is inside of this is a JSON array. So if it's sentences, then I know source location parser. How does parser work? And why? Switch is supposed to represent a jump table in machine code, but you can't make a jump table out of string comparisons, but with an integer value it's easy. Can I ask why it isn't able to just convert the string into an integer? Because that's something you can do in most languages, right? You just treat everything as like a UTF-8 number or something. Or does it just get exponentially big? It's like really annoying. You can hash a string, but there's no guarantee that 2 unrelated hashes won't be equal. Okay, fine. I see your secrets, C++. I see your secrets. I understand. What am I doing? Oh, sorry, I lost my brain for a second. How does parser work? Take me there. Where do you live? Take me there. Please? This is not helpful. Fuck me, this is a big file. Alright. Parser.parse. Parse any value of JSON, of any JSON type, from a UTF-8 JSON string. The parser supports new stuff. Returns the parsed value. What is value? Value could be a boolean, string, char, string view, char8, number, object. Okay, fuck me, dude. You're typing up a simple example. You can keep reading the docs in the meantime. Yeah, because I'm thinking, I know what I'm going to get in here. So I'd like it to parse it into an array of objects that have 2 strings. Or just an array of objects for now, and then I could go through the array of objects bit by bit. That was kind of the plan. Let's try and read through what you've got here for this, because this is a flat structure, whatever. I could technically make this a flat. No, not really. Let me open up Discord on my other monitor then. So reading sentences here. So input, find input, key. We're not doing that here, so we're just pretending we're jumping in a little bit. JSON source locations. What are you? Explain yourself. Line and column numbers of a location in a JSON source string. So that would be like here. Line number, column number. So this would be 413, I guess, or whatever. Okay. So you get the location, and then I guess value is just whatever's there, maybe? Hang on, let me turn up the music a little bit. We're doing some monkey things right now. This is unnecessary. I'm gonna remove these crashes. Bind action. I'm thinking... Oh, fuck me, what have you got here? Oh, this is stuff you sent me before, isn't it? The source location is mostly if you want to report on an error. Yeah, you say like error line, blah, 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 blah. I'm still trying to work out how this whole parser thing works. Parser.parseValue. You're just saying bind action equals... Hang on, is bind action... Oh, fuck, I'm stupid. This is being passed in down here. I've been reading this incorrectly. Actually, it's here. Parser.parseValue. So you're saying we're checking for an array here. And if it is, you pass an array. If it's not an array, we're piping in, we're saying it will be a string. And if it's neither of these, it will crash, I'm guessing. And for now, I guess we wouldn't need this, right? We just say, at this location in sentences, we should be passing an array. So we do that. And we're passing an array bind action. So this is incorrect. The value here won't be a string. The value here will be like a JSON object that contains two strings. I guess you can't pass, can you? Like, is there only going to be one for loop in this entire thing? Does it just go down the JSON file line by line? Or does it say, this is a list of sentences, this is the thing inside, this is the thing inside? Because that's how the libraries I normally use work. You have to do it kind of recursively. Like for each element in the JSON array, for each element in the thing, for each element in the thing, for each element in the thing. Which is why I prefer the type where you just define the structure, do all the fanfares. That used to be my like donation sound effect, so it kind of gives me positive PTSD. I don't know what the right word for that is. Monkey chemicals, I think. So let's have a look. This is a little complicated, I guess. But maybe it would be something like... We're passing... Well, let's just go even more than this. Let's pass an array. I don't understand this syntax. Pass array bind action. Bind action is a thing that takes a location and a value. So maybe I could write something similar. Const auto sentence? Sentence? Sentence read, let's say. It's going to be a lambda. Dude, this song slaps. Well, this isn't a lambda. No, this... What is this? This is a lambda, surely. I believe in a lambda. I'm seeing funny brackets. I'm gonna believe in it. You want to take in, I'm guessing, whatever's in there. Can a JSON string be further JSON objects? I'm guessing no, because this isn't a JSON string. I'm assuming this is a well-formed JSON file, by the way. I think. You can move the lambda into JSON on string and remove the on array, because it might be a bit easier to read. Dude, the back key does not do what I want it to do. You can move the lambda into JSON on string. And remove the JSON on array. Actually, that's basically what you have here, isn't it? We don't need this stuff. Isn't this like a JSON object, though? This is an object. This is an array. We don't need to remove array, do we? What the fuck have you passed in here? Alright, Donut Jason. Jason sent me something. He's real, guys. Let's see what you've said. Hang on, I want to make this easy to find again. It's missing a bracket. Why is it snaking up the screen? Help. Alright, let's read through this. So... Spooky music. Oh, this is the Ocarina of Time one. It's King Dodongo and I think Volvagia. No, not Volvagia. Maybe it's... I think it's King Dodongo and Volvagia. Ba 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 ba. I think it's both. Anyway, sorry. Vector of sentences. String parser. So that's this bit. Parse object. Oh, you got rid of this JSON. No, you didn't. JSON on element. So we're the same to here. This matches. If it's sentences. No, wait, this is what I wrote. Parse the sentences. You tried to fix the bracket. I think I've... Oh, I didn't fix it, no. These are missing as well. Hang on, let me get what you've got, so maybe it helps. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, that looks a little better, maybe. We'll look at it in a minute. I think there's another one. I think you're right. These are missing. The parse array thing... I think it's just here, isn't it? I think I got it. So, it's the key that is does this read line by line, I'm guessing, then? The way the parser works. Like, does it go down like this? It doesn't go into an element, and then into it, and then into an element, and then into it, then into an element. Did you add them where I added them, Donut? Like here? And the other one. The one you have now looks off, does it? Not there. Sure? Where did you put it? Here. Okay. So you're passing array on object. Oh, you don't have to pass anything in. It just knows. I guess string parser dot. I guess pass object just passes that in for you. I was thinking you have to pass in the line. You have to say, can you please pass this object? But no. So if the root is sentences, go in. JSON on object. Okay, so this is the fancy lingo I guess I was looking for. So we're passing an object. That's this. This is the same syntax as before. I'm starting to learn this. If it's text, that's really simple. Okay. If it's text, then we're storing it up here. If it's Sprite, oh, you've even done this for me. That's so kind of you. File name is this. Sentence Sprite is this. Otherwise, skip it. That's beautiful. Okay, now I'm looking at it. Okay, this is a lot easier to read than this. Holy shit. Okay, let's kill this. Let's have a look. Let's have a proper look. We don't need this. This is neat. This is quite tidy. I think I need to like read it over and over to understand how this parser works, because it's very different to every other JSON parser I've used. How does it work? Does it have like a cursor internally, and the cursor goes between every object it finds, or what does it call it? Every key value, and this like defines a rule set for it to how it handles each element, or is it every time the like how does pass object work? Yeah, basically. Okay. So if I'm thinking about it as you defining a rule set, this is very fine. Alright, I like this. How does Sprite Atlas work if you pass in an identical file name? Does it just gives you the existing sprite index? Hang on, this isn't a sprite index, this is a sprite. What does .insert return? Sprite ID. Okay, so that's fine. Sentence is defined in here. So a sentence has a text and a sprite ID. That's all that matters here. I guess I forgot to add position. Let's do that now. That can just be text for now. This way of passing avoids allocating a temporary JSON object. Yeah. Let's just keep it as close as possible. A human could get this. A little annoying, but I think I'm just sticking to the string instead of an int for this. I'm like so over having to work out if 0 is up, down, left, or right. Just write the word up. So let's modify. Let's use our knowledge and modify the parser. If it is position, we need to. We're gonna say const. Does do I need to include, where is position stored? It's called, I think, sentence.position. Sentence position dot. Oh, hang on. I had this issue before with enums. There's no way to directly turn a string into an enum value, right? We had this whole rigmarole with like templates and shit, right? Should I just make a quick dirty little function like hang on, how the fuck do I write code? How about just something lazy like this? No need to make it fancy, right? You can put the function in an anonymous namespace if you want, so the header doesn't need to know about it. Okay. Then sometimes the easiest option is just the right option, I think. You can put it in an anonymous namespace in the C++ file. So I just put it, like, here. How does anonymous namespace work? You just... Do you make it... Call it namespace? Nothing? Or do you just have it in the void? Put it at the top and then you just put it... You just do it like this. Could I just call it get direction then? Or do you have to call it namespace this? You probably want it inside the WouHou namespace. What are you talking about? Like this. Can I ask why the header would know about this? Is this just let me get away without having this tied to an object or a class? Maybe. Is that how I make a function without having to define it in the header? Because sometimes I just can't. Like, I know no other class is ever going to need it. Earlier you were about to write a method that would need to be declared in the header. Yeah, and I was thinking about how I was going to have to do that. So you don't have to do that. You can just have free-floating functions. Oh, dude, it's a slammer. Position equals... Let's do... get direction... Let's call it get position. Oops. Meh. Can I make this like maybe send in like a fucking error? This is better because you need to recompile everything that includes it. That's fantastic. I should be using these more then. I want this to be an optional, so it can return null if it's not valid. There's just standard optional, or just throw. Dude, I love to throw. What's the syntax for throw? Just like throw, standard, exception, invalid, cock. Invalid. That's not it. I know the syntax is probably wrong, but just give me a second. I guess I could, this is where I could technically pass in the JSON stuff. I'll just do throw standard runtime error. Okay, that works. Include standard exception, throw runtime error. This looks fine, right? This just probably takes a string, right? The format thing makes sense too, yeah. I was thinking I could, if I wanted to, I could pass in the key and parser here, but I'm gonna be honest, the thing's throwing, it's gonna tell you what's wrong, you can just Control F. I don't need to make this too fancy. They'll just say whatever the incorrect position text is. I like this, I love to throw. Doesn't mean the game will crash, but sometimes that's just fun. So we're gonna get the position from whatever the string is. How about we go even... we do this. We just do this. Easy. Why make it fancy? You could pass in the source location and throw a thing. Yeah, I'm just thinking I don't want to make it too fancy. I guess I could. If you put a try catch around the parser, it will print the line and column for you. Source. Why doesn't this have a name? Can you explain to me again why sometimes you don't have to name the parameter? It's unused. It's the same as doing like this in... okay. But I could make it used. I could call it source and then pass it in. How did you do it in the bindings thing? Yeah, I'll catch both of these. These seem fun. Catch JSON error E, blah 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 blah, or exception E, blah 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 blah. Fine, I'll just reuse that. No need to be too fancy. I'm gonna make this its own function called load conversation from file. Now I'm gonna be honest, you've opened the doors to me and you're gonna make my files. I'm gonna commit so many crimes. Forgive me, Donut, but I'm gonna do this now. I think it's self-obvious. There's no formatter for source location, so you have to format the line separately or throw an error with the source embedded. I don't remember what its things are called. You do the second option. What's wrong with this? Hang on, you said throw a JSON error. I guess that's whatever's in here. Format the line and column separately or throw a JSON error with the source embedded. How does that work? JSON error. JSON... What do you pass into a JSON error? The source. Message source. Okay, so this is the fucking exact same thing I just did. Message source. This looks fine then, right? Except I need to put this in. That should be fine then. sorry. Load conversation from file. I want you to pass in the file name. It still says at blah. I mean, that would be fine, wouldn't it? If I wanted this to be very Java-y, I'd have this function return the sentences. Probably crash, not compile. I probably have sentences in here and as a temporary array and then return it, but I'm thinking, heck it, we're C++. Heck it, we're balling. So here we're loading the entire conversation in. It's good as well, like this whole visual novel thing. We're now getting to a little bit of file management, which is kind of poggers. And this I can copy and paste this shit every day. That's great. Dude, this water tastes like plastic. I've been meaning to buy a glass water bottle, but I haven't found one yet. For home use. And like a metal one. I've got these very old plastic ones. You probably just return it. Yeah, I was thinking this is just free-floating. Fine. I mean, I could also just put it in the header. You know what? Let's fucking heck this shit up. Let's put it in here. Let's just put it in. It can be in the header if it likes. As a treat, surely. You wouldn't steal a car, would you? Why complicate things? Why complicate things? You would download a car if you could. Fuck me. Alright. Alright, we're loading the conversation in. So now we have the conversation. That's fucking poggers, dude. Never been happier. You can go up here. So now we successfully have this shit. Let's load show sentence. Am I winning? I think so. Show sentence. Show next sentence. I'm gonna make it a really basic function it just works, you know? Oh, it's the spooky cave music. So in here, we are going to create sentence entity in the registry. Poggers. Increment the whatever. Spooky. Oh, it's a little sad now. This soundtrack is not as cozy as the Wind Waker one, I'm going to tell you that. This is when Woolen gives up and he doesn't listen to your shit anymore. He starts playing Pikmin every day. He becomes a Pikmin speedrunner. So we're gonna... Where's Template Factory? Could I make it in Template Factory? Template Factory already has all these funny functions. Ooh, maybe. Dude, if I just handle this in the Template Factory, that fixes a lot of issues. I wouldn't need to pass in, like, anything. It'd just work. And it is a factory. Just saying. What the fuck? Why is it called a template, though? Is a template just... Like, why is it a template? Why is that what it's called, huh? Sure, why not? Let's go. I'm gonna pass it in, then. This is a happy or sad song. It's a Twilight Princess song. I want this to crash if it's wrong, so that's fine. We're gonna do By the way, conversation over has to be in all caps. It seems very important. We called it a template. That's crazy. South Park's still fashionable, right? I'll have game sort out. He'll know what to do. Entity Factory. Yeah. I'm not going to rename it now because that's fucking hassle. We're going to have a file called... So if it's less than the size... So sentence... If it's a size of... If there's one thing in it and sentence index is 0, then this is fine. If the sentence index is now 1, then it's equal to or larger than the size, so the conversation is over. That seems sensible. So we're going to load sentence. We need to pass in template factory first of all. How else am I passing this in? I think maybe one of the gun shooty things are using it, right? Not you, physics system. Maybe weapon system? Yeah, okay. Easy. Now, how is weapon system storing this? Actually, I could put this in here. Need a bigger screen, dude. I don't think the language server has crashed. I think you've crashed. This all looks good, and then I just need to adjust the constructor. And then in tick, I need to check if current sentence still exists. If not, spawn a new one, if possible. And this? We'll handle that. Even the built-in extension is crashing now. Oh, don't worry about it. It's trying its best. Can I just zoom out a bit? That's hard to read. Who decided on this font? Okay, load conversation from files looking good. So next sentence is good. Load sentence, let's sort that out. So I need to also get Sprite, fucking, what do you call it? You want to store the current entity, current sentence ID. I don't remember what entity ID is, but maybe it's entity ID? How do I know the entity ID? What is an entity's ID stored as? Let's just say it's an int for now until I can work out the file type. Maybe just entity sentence entity. Oh, entity is the, okay, I'm right then. How about this? So we can say sentence entity is this. And we can say, what was it? If, had this in the to-do, right? If red history dot valid I don't know if that's quite right. Next. Show next sentence. This is a little wasteful, because right now every tick this is going to constantly check. But whatever. Like every single tick it's going to be doing this shit. So I guess I could put this in here as well. This is, I think, fine to have a double check just for now, but... You hate programming? One branch per tick, it's when it scales with the number of objects. Never mind, I don't. Hell yeah. You know, you can let it constantly, infinitely finish the conversation. That's fine. As a treat. Actually, you know what? This is fucking fine. It's like an extra little bonus check. This should only get ran like once every 100,000 millions. You're having some fun with nginx conf. Jesus wept. Never mind. Jesus heck. So this should trigger and like finish it most of the time. This looks good. So in load sentence, we wanted to create that. So that's in here. Template factory. Dude, all this shit could be floating for all I give a hoot. No, that's not the case. We actually need this stuff in the header. Let's have, what was it called? Load sentence. This needs to return an entity. Am I right in using a pointer here? Since it's just an ID and can't be dereferenced, it just takes it by value. Oh, should I just be passing it around by value then? I guess I forgot that that's how it works. I was like, fuck, it's gonna be so heavy to pass this entity around. I guess this is fine. You don't need to be dereferenced then. Okay, fine. I guess entity is just a number in the fucking registry, right? Fine. Template factory header. Maybe we get rid of some of these now. So load sentence. We need to pass in. Actually, where's sentence stored again? Components, right? You definitely have components. Okay, this is fine. It's just an enum. Okay, sick. Spawn test enemy. Perfect. We can even make the chat box fire at you, dude. Actually, that's not perfect. Come on, dude. You're not this slow, really, are you? So we need registry.create. I guess we technically could keep it the same entity. But no, I don't want that. I want to be able to destroy it. I like that. Dude, take me to template factory. Let's just do this for now. Wait to pass in the registry. Surely not. No, it's just confused. That's okay. I think. Entity is here. Load sentence. Oh fuck, you're right. Okay. So it's gonna have collision. I guess I need to work out a new type of collision that isn't a circle. I'm gonna have to come up with a fucking... I guess the chat box could be a circle. That would be a fun... Oh, why is your chat box in your game a circle? That's so interesting. Well, I just thought as a designer, I thought I'd break them all. And really it's because I wouldn't want to make a square hitbox. Let's just leave it as a circle for now. We can come up with rectangular hitboxes in the future. That's something we need to do. It's simple if our current system, I think, just checks distance. So we check distance within a square. That's easy. Or even that, it doesn't even need to be distance. We could just check if it's within a coordinate space. It would essentially just be the same way that the culling system works. Maybe I could just use the culling system somehow. Alright, so we're going to have transform. Are we going to have a transform? Transform just means an XY, right? So we'll do that. You know what, actually, we can do it based on the position. If a sentence.position equals it's left. And if this somehow doesn't exist, then fuck me, dude, it's not gonna have any position. I like that. It has capsule versus circle though. Does it have a capsule? As in like a line check with a distance on it. I remember my Unreal Engine experience. We'll come up with this position thing. Actually, I can go into game and grab it, right? Position. Position to be decided, I'll be honest with you. You imagine it might need it for better sub-tick hit detection. Yeah. I don't remember. Well. Let's just spawn the sentence in the middle of the screen. And if it's... Hang on, this is stupid. Am I stupid? No, I'm not stupid. I'm really smart. The sentence is actually being spoken by the player head. So, riddle me this. Maybe the player head... yeah, that's not perfectly fine, I think. Actually, very reasonable conversation. The radius for this can be fucking 90, who cares? Group, mask, I'm gonna think player bullet, and the group is enemy. It's an enemy. So the enemies can't shoot the text boxes. Probably. I mean, I could make it so the player owns the text box, and maybe the enemy is to shoot the player's text box. Don't know why I made this. But add animation. Ah, you see, that's where you're wrong. Add player, add respawn, add health. The player is invulnerable for 2,000 seconds. Is that true? How about 2? This invulnerable time is 100 milliseconds. Invulnerable time remaining is 0 seconds. Otherwise, I guess it flashes when it spawns her. It's kind of fun to think about. So you have to read the text for the first second. I could do that, and they could make it so that if the entity with health is also a sentence, it doesn't flash. Avoiding bullets by going through enemies if they don't move to a tick. Oh yeah. I'd want to check like how if it's traveled through something, because that's essentially how it works, right? Where's a Sprite? Like if a bullet, if this this is the wrong color. If this is a bullet and this is the player, if we're just doing a circle check here, they don't interline. They don't connect. However, I don't know how I do this in this program. I wanted to like stretch it and drag it. Let's just copy and paste over and over again. If you're doing a capsule, you can check like between its 2 positions, right? You draw like this. Well, you draw literally this line, which is a capsule like this, rather than just this and this. Yeah. What's the maths for that? How do you check if there's a line intersection? Is there just some maths? You can read it. WouHou. Dude, this soundtrack's so hilariously long. We're only a third of the way through it. Anyway, you don't need restricted movement. You're not going to be firing, although that would be really funny. Would it be funny if I actually modeled the chat boxes as like little TVs that you have to shoot? It's in shapes. Think about it. How long have I been making this? Version 1 was made during COVID for like a year, a few hundred hours. This version 2 you're watching now has been made since like November, and this is like the 21st stream, and they're all a couple hours long. So about the one you're watching now is about half a year or so, but not that frequent. We took a bit of a break for a while. Not moving. You don't need physics. You don't need to respond to actions. This is the important bit, I reckon. Fun, hell yeah. This is the bit I need to think about. Where's dither animation? Oh, you're just like in here somewhere, huh? I feel like this is not the best way to do it. Maybe this should be in my special animation repository, which I've not been using. What does animation repository do? Explain yourself. How do you work? Do I just do load animation from row? This doesn't really work. Hang on. What am I doing? How does the animation thing work? Add animation. What was solo animation again? Like, it's just one animation in the sprite, I think. I don't remember how this works. Load animation from row. You pass in a sprite ID. I guess I just do this. Right? Yeah, I think so. So that's this, I guess. It feels a little unnecessary. I feel like I'm doing something a little wrong here. But Donut's not watching right now, so... This wants a sprite ID, right? Oh, I misread that. Load solo animation. This says file path. Hang on, I thought you wanted a sprite ID. Oh no, I want this. Maybe I should just make it the file path and reuse this system. Because that's essentially what this does. Right? Why redefine what's already there? Donut? You see how solo animation's already doing this sprite atlas insert animation ID thing? Should I just have it so the sentence just has a string on it for the file path? Because it's already going to load it into the... I'm going to do that. You missed the question. In the template factory, the load solo animation function that creates the entity bit for us, you pass in a file path and then some other data, and it does the like sprite ID conversion and loads it all. This is essentially what we already had in the JSON parser. Do you think it's fine to just make the JSON parser read in the file name and just pass that through? And then it would use this same system that every other component uses, instead of having its own unique special. Yeah, yeah, I was thinking that. Okay, fine. Let me try and remember where it was. So instead of this, I actually want a... This seems fun. This simplifies things. This is really simplifies things, actually. I prefer this. So... Whoops. Oh, I guess this should probably include the size of the chat head. Let's just do 16 by 16 for now. Let's just leave it however it is. It might be time to make animations and answer. Yeah, I might look into that next time. It's quite late. It's midnight, so I just want to get this into a state. Am I changing it to storing solo animation? Is that solo animation not a lot heavier than a single string? And now you'd have an entity that owns... You'd have a component that owns another component. Seems a little weird, a little odd. But sure, you're the... I need to, like, piss, so I'm just not gonna bother. Whatever, sure. Oh, now I need to task the fucking template factory. I've got the template factory. I guess this JSON file should probably include some data about the image or something. This is just going to load the top left 16 by 16. How big is bean.png? How big are you? What's your size? Can I just open this in Sprite? No. How big are you? What's your size? Oh, I can do 64 by 64. How big is Dither? She's fucking huge. 640 by 640. That's not right. No way this picture is 640 pixels. Oh, she's fucking huge. Why is she so big? Who made you this big? I didn't make you this big. Oh, 640. Can we just make it 64? Oh, fuck. Okay, that's way better. 64 by 64 should work then. She's cute. I like that. Alright, let's make the thing 64 by 64. So it should load the top left of the bean, I think. What was I doing? I've like lost it. Template factory, when it loads a sentence, adds collision, animation, and health. And transform. Does it need anything else? I don't think so. I mean, that basically works, I think, right? Entity, template factory, load sentence. That looks like it kind of works. It's going to be a little funny, but that's fine. Dun dun dun. Ba 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 ba. You look okay. Alright, what have I forgotten? Because I've forgotten a lot. Even when the string is small enough to not need allocation, it will need 24 to 32 bytes just to store the pointer size capacity and some other stuff. Man. Those strings are getting big, huh? Too big for them boots. I'm gonna eat a chocolate biscuit while this builds. I don't know what I've forgotten, which is maybe a good sign. Maybe it'll just build. Maybe I've just done it perfect first time. Chocolate biscuit. Oh, fuck. No, I appreciate it. I guess it, I guess it. Sorry, I wasn't being snarky. I was eating a chocolate biscuit. Oh, right, yeah. Try now. I can just return it, right? In the other function I pass it in this function I return it. Isn't that fun? The whole world comes around. I could even make it a no discard. Would you like that, Donut? How about that? Does this excite you? You love a no discard. I'm surprised you didn't call your, like, Medigun that. You know? I'm sure there could be a funny TF2 pun. I'm hoping you have programming jokes. I have programming jokes in my TF2 items. Biscuit. These are really good. These actually taste like McVitie's as well. When we were in Australia, we tried buying McVitie's biscuits, but they were clearly like a different chocolate. Well, they were like bad Australian chocolate. People don't talk about how shit chocolate is in Australia. It's amazing how happy the people are. Yeah, I was thinking the C++ file probably doesn't care, right? It adds a little bit of flavour though, right? A little spice. Did you see that you can buy Spice and Wolf real golden coins now? For like 20 grand or 40 grand or something. You can get a small box of gold coins that looks like they're from Spice and Wolf. Hey, sick. Alright, take me into game. We have a new system in town. His name? Conversation system. Get used to him. Oh fuck, that scared the shit out of me. No test enemies. What do you need again? Registry game file system template factory. I'm guessing I need to get a reference to this so I can make it load the system, right? I guess I could put it in the constructor. No, I think I'm going to store a reference to this in game. Same way I'm doing this. I think I'm going to have a conversation system. So that should work, and then I need to make it so I can, the enemy, or the... I need to make it so the enemy, talks. So I guess for now I could just do, what is it? Like... data slash conversation slash test. Or does it not need to be data slash? Does it just need to be slash? Yeah, it's not, doesn't have to have the word data in it. Hmm? Why is this angry? You take a const char. You take a... oh. Hang on, why are you confused? That's basically what this does. The table... hang on, why is this upset? Undefined reference. I don't understand. This should be okay, shouldn't it? If I get rid of this, does it work okay? Is it confused because it's a null pointer sometimes? That shouldn't matter. Okay, no, it's confused with this. Why is that? This seems odd. I don't know why this is not working. Load pause system, navigation system is... you have... Why doesn't this work? This should work, right? Can I just do... I just do this for a second. Maybe it's an issue with this. What did you miss? It doesn't like what I'm doing. I wanted to store the conversation system the same way I store the navigation system and then trigger it the same way I trigger this. But it didn't seem to like the way that I was doing this. So I'm wondering if I can just place it in the first place. Maybe the syntax for this is just wrong for the constructor. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I got the order wrong. Registry, game, file system, template factory. Registry, game, file system, template factory. I don't know why this is angry. Maybe the C++ file? Registry, game, file system, template factory. Game, file system, template factory. You have a method that's undefined. Is it this? Tick. Oh, you're right, it's the CMake lists thing. How confusing. That'll be it. So this should build now. And then if that works, I'll bring this back. Oh, it's confused. Alright, fine, whatever. That's not the error I was getting before, so that's fine. Yeah, now I'm getting errors in here. Error unused function? I don't think so. Load sentence is private. Why is this private? Oh, it's private. Okay, I was wondering why it was just working magically. I thought I was good at this for a second. Game.addConversationEnd is inaccessible. Unused parameter file name. Oh, that's obvious. I guess it should be file path. Cannot convert from a JSON string to a const char. I think it's incorrect. Actually, hang on. How do I turn a string into a const char? Can I... how do I do that? Is that what cstr does? I'm guessing it's not past string here, right? May I write random fish names into chat and hide all of his helpful messages? Go for it. Oh. How do I check if this is null pointer? Like, can I instantiate this at 0? Does that work? You're an oat fish. Wish I were an oat fish. Okay, basically uninitialize this to say it's uninitialized. It doesn't like that. You can set to entity null. Perfect. Whoops. Do you like the Twilight Princess soundtrack, Turbo Burner? Single colon? Where? Ah, fuck. Okay, just let it build most of this. Oh, an entity null. Is it bad when I find the error that you mentioned, but just somewhere else? What? No, this is right. You went earlier. You cheeky cunt. Oh, it's private, huh? Why? You shouldn't swear. Feels so weird being awake so late. I've been going to bed at like 10:30 lately. I wish I could make that just, like, run the build after the save is finished. You know? Does it say CXX because it can't type C++? To see that everywhere, and I think it's really funny. Use of deleted function. Fucking excuse me? Oh, you're private, huh? Oh, so that is where I wanted to go. Oh, here it is. Honestly, I don't know why this shit's private, but whatever. You figured it out, yeah. You wish they could decide if it's CXX or CPP. I prefer CXX, I'll be honest. It sounds fancier. Don't sleep. Well, it's more that I'm in a shared house with a lot of people. I'm here talking in a fucking cupboard. Oh god, that's not right. Lintier motion. Is that really what that is called? Is that I was thinking about what that maths sign means, but I guess it's just like someone's Microsoft tag. Dude, there's such an Ocarina of Timey song. Nintendo really cheating the nostalgia. Why are you complaining? Oh. I guess it... That's true. Can I allow you to simply have... What time is it? 12:30. Sorry. Can I not just have this as a null pointer? Just add defaults to everything. I was wondering how I default some of this stuff. Can I just do this? I guess that's fun. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that shit ain't working. This shit's complex, dude. Can I just make it a null pointer? Can I just make all of these null pointers? Oh, fuck. You can't just have a null object, huh? I guess that makes sense. Should I just make the solo animation standard optional then? This is really the best way to do this. Should I not just initialize it at the end? I guess then I'd have to create a couple variables. But then I'd have to fuck about with this. Does it have like some sort of null feature? Like that, maybe. Dude, this has not been a cozy programming stream, I tell you that. Yeah, I agree. I'll turn the music down so you don't all get scared. I find it very funny that it went straight from that into this. You don't need to do that. Here I could do some if checks to see if they're valid or not. No, what's wrong? It seems happy, you know? It does seem to be avoiding building it right now. You don't need the sentence variable anymore. Oh, you're right. I'll get rid of that once it's built. Ah, cock. It is just angry about it, huh? This game has some silly songs. Was JavaScript just invented because they were like, fuck dude, we don't even need to compile this yet? Textures slash ditherjan.png. Oh, that's not where it is. I think it's player. Holy shit. Oh my god, it works. The bean has so much health. You can have a conversation with someone now. That's sick. This also goes to show that we can have entities that aren't explicitly enemies that you can shoot. It's an explicitly different character, Tokai, okay? She has a slingshot. And purple hair. Well, I for one am very happy with how that worked out. Do you want to try and draw some text quickly before we stop? I reckon we can do it. You seem unnecessary. She's not saying anything. Did I not add sentence to it? I'm guessing I didn't add sentence to it. Yeah, I didn't. Hilarious. She's a bit shy. Holy shit. This is amazing. Check this out. Yes, it is a little funny that the sprite is drawn underneath you. I might add an exception to the render sprite, the render animation system. I don't know. Okay, that's not quite what I meant. It's amazing. I do find it hilarious how extensible these components are. That I was able to make some text draw on the screen with a sprite, and you can shoot it and it blinks, and I barely had to do any work on that front because it just reuses what I did before for players and enemies. Isn't that kind of beautiful? That's kind of beautiful. Alright. Dude, that's sick. That means in the future we can have... Not using standard move. Alright, cunt. I'll do it. What was I saying? This is cool. Next time we can refine this a little bit. Draw like a black square behind it or something. Get rid of the flashing. I don't know, maybe the flashing's useful. It tells you can shoot it, I guess. There you go. Maybe we can work on a character select screen, that'd be useful. There's only one character right now, but just ignoring that. How does this look with the debug overlay?
Hello.
Hey dude.
It's time for snoozing.
Chris, look at
I'm
this.
going to shower.
There's a chat box now. You can
That's
like,
very
and you have to
cool.
shoot to get rid of it.
It's very cool.
She thinks it's cool. Alright, it is 1 AM, dude. It's time for me to go. You're thinking when you pass into component. Oh, yeah? Yeah, it's good progress. I gotta go, dude. It's like really fucking late. Good 4-hour stream. We also started late. We started at like 9. I'm totally not just building it one last time. It's really starting to become a game, man. Alright, cool. I'm gonna head off. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you probably tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.